What's up, everybody? Rev Sauce 9. I usually don't cover TNA stuff. I watch it every week, but I thought I would cover it for the first time in a long time for March 14, 2024. TNA Impact Wrestling, total nonstop action wrestling for the first time in a long time here on this very channel. And in fact, I should be watching it as it happens because they're about to go live, supposedly. But TNA slated this week, honestly. I watched it last night, and I really enjoyed TNA. Seriously. TNA is doing some good shit. This is a quick review. Mustafa Ali and Chris Sabin, give me more of that. I thought it was fantastic. Mustafa Ali is good shit. I like him as the X Division champion here. He cheated to win against Chris Sabin and puts doubt in Motor Machine guns and what's going on there. I really enjoyed that. Josh Alexander speaks. Josh Alexander basically gets his home point about Hammerstein and things like that, or Hammerstone. Sorry, Hammerstone. I got to give it, Josh Alexander has been the anchor of TNA. I would love to see Josh Alexander over at AEW or WWE. I think when his contract's all said and done, he deserves a big payday. He's in his prime of his career. These promo things he's cutting and the things that he's cutting for the TNA belt from Moose is great. I think, he's going to go against Hammerstone eventually. Hammerstone cheated to win during their big pay-per-view. In the first match of the night with Mustafa Ali, he used the ropes as well. I like how they're making the heels become more heels and hated. The crowd was really into it most of the night in their tapings. Josh Alexander can speak. Josh Alexander versus Oleg Pudas, one of Dirty Dango's minions. Dirty Dango used to be the guy on WWE. Was Ango or Dango over on WWE with Tyler Breeze. They were the police or whatever they were. They did investigations and things like that. I really enjoyed this match. Josh Alexander did win. I gotta say, anything that Josh Alexander does in TNA, not so many people see, but is really good. And he did beat Will Ospreay with a C4 spike. So, there we go. We had Crazy Steve walk out on stage for a promo. He runs down his challenger until PCO walks out and confronts Steve with laughter, and Steve slowly retreats with the Digital Media Championship. I really like Crazy Steve. I understand why he beat Tommy Dreamer the way he did months ago. I could see PCO ending that reign. PCO did resign with TNA recently. Now we have Frankie Kazarian. Now Frankie Kazarian is doing the best work of his career up in TNA. AEW did not utilize him very well. And he is the king of TNA, and he demands respect, and he's beating the shit out of people. Ace Austin found that out real quick when Ace Austin, I feel like he's maturing. I feel like he could be his own thing again. Ace Austin was good shit when Impact Wrestling was starting to turn the tides when they were doing a rebirth of the product. So Ace Austin's good shit. Kazarian leaves Ace Austin in rough shape on the floor. Going into commercial break, Bay shares some words to Kazarian. Ace finally rallies back into offense. Kazarian responds with an electric chair drop. Near fall, Kazarian eventually traps Ace into a chicken wing and for a tap out Frankie Kazarian. And then Frankie Kazarian starts beating the shit out of ABC. ABC is part of the Bullet Club. And then you have Eric Young coming out for the save and looking at Frankie Kazarian trying to beat the shit out of him, saying, I'm coming at you, blah, blah, this, blah, that. And it was actually pretty good. Kazarian tags Chris Bay afterwards. Eric Young chases him off. We see a new vignette from the system. The system reminds me of back in the day with Main Event Mafia. It reminds me so much of that. They can add more people to it. I like the system. It gives me kind of the bloodline kind of vibes within TNA. Moose is good shit. And like I said before, I love me Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards should have been signed by many different companies, and yeah, I gotta give it to. I really got to give it to the system. The system is doing things. Kurt Hawkins is great. Again, I got to say that Brian Myers, I should say, but good shit all around with the system and their promos. And Ashley, our Ashley Edwards looks great. Sorry if I was saying Ashley, is it? I'm probably butchering that. My bad if I am. AJ Francis versus Joe Henry. AJ Francis, man, I didn't know Top Dollar had moves. So I'll read you from my notes. Henry cuts a promo which only fires up Francis. Francis manhandles Henry. Henry is a side to start a comeback. Referee gets knocked down. AJ grabs a chair under the ring, but Henry ducks, hits the drop kick. Rich Swann comes out to interfere and hits him with his finisher and strikes Henry instead of Francis and hits Henry with a choke slam, and the ref comes back for a 1-2-3. AJ Francis and Aaron Angels tries to do a sound check with the sound check little interview with Ash by Elegance. I'm going to say something about Ash by Elegance. One thing about it, I like Dana Brooke, but the way they're going about her is they're trying to do the same kind of thing they're doing with AEW with Toni Storm. Do your own thing. Stop trying to copy other companies' product and actually do something. You're trying to make her into a diva, and I feel like, to me, it's falling flat. George Iceman goes off about, I just found it to be hokey pokey. These are some things with TNA that they should fix. Ash by Elegance ain't it, Chief. Set not be all the way where promise Ash agrees to reciprocate and anyway and announce she is going to have her third match next week. Who cares? Ash by Elegance should be her own thing. And I don't like the name of Dana Brooke in TNA. I think it's kind of hokey pokey. We have Spitfire versus Brer Moss and Vienna Black. And to be honest with you, this was the women's match. Everybody was the tag teams. I think they have too much tag teams in TNA. But I do like what I see. I thought this was perfect. You got the young talent being featured. You have Decay looking on. You have all these tag teams looking on. The tag team champions get a victory out of this. And, yeah, like I said, everybody was looking on. Spitfire does win. We have Steve Macklin in the versus Nick Nemeth. Hold on, before we get going. We had a segment here with the women's champion, Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz, man, says, I'm coming for that title. I got screwed, and I could prove it. If you look at the replay, I only got 1-2, and it looked like my shoulders weren't on the mat. So pretty much there's going to be a rematch between Tasha Steelz and Jordynne Grace for the TNA Knockouts Championship. We get to the main event. Again, Nick Nemeth versus Speedball Mountain. It should be Speed Mountain. I think Speed Mountain would be better. Speedball Mountain is a little hokey pokey to me, but Nick Nemeth at Speedball Mountain did get the victory, and Moose came out. Then before that, the Rascals turned on Steve Macklin. Macklin was on his own. They hit all their finishers, 1, 2, 3. Speedball Mountain and Nick Nemeth gets the victory. They're going to be their own superpower group. They were all talking about earlier how they're going to have titles and whatnot on their waist. And technically, Moose comes out with the system, basically the new version of Main Event Mafia, the new tag team champions, and Moose beat the shit out of pretty much Speedball Mountain and Nick Nemeth to finish the show, hit him with the title, and they all stand up victorious with their belts up in hand, and that's how they end the show. This show was a B- show. I would say it's a 7.75. I can't wait to see TNA go live every week. I think they should be on a different network. I think they put on good shit for the price of what you get. All night long, they were promoting TNA Plus. That's an Endeavor product on the Endeavor streaming network. Honestly, I think TNA is great shit, but nobody really watches it, unfortunately. I'm one of the few that do watch it. And yeah, like I said, I think they need to be on live television. Where they go for that, I know they're going to do that on Access TV, but the problem with Access TV is that it's very boring. There's nothing there. Nobody really gets it in their homes. I think, honestly, if they're going to do live television, I would say try to find a streaming service like a Paramount, like a, I would honestly tell you if they could do it, maybe Hulu, maybe they go and work with Peacock, or maybe they do something, because they gotta, if they're gonna go live, they're not really gonna have the viewers. They don't have that key demographic either. And people are gonna tell me, well, Rev, isn't it not about the viewers, as you say all the time? Yes, but TNA does not attract the audience like that. And I'm going to be honest, Anthem Sports and Entertainment has been sleeping on this, and they need to put it live, or they're going to become like Ring of Honor. And eventually what's going to happen is, it was kind of like what St. Clair did. St. Clair, for the longest, refused to go live, refused to do the things. And then when they did go live, they were crumbling because they had it on at weird times. And then when they did go live, nobody knew, because they didn't really promote it like that. And that's why Ring of Honor died, and that's why Tony Khan picked it up and re-brought it back from the grave. You should be thanking Tony Khan for that. And I think where TNA's going, if they continue to do what they're doing and they keep not bringing in fans, they're going to die off. They're going to die off. It reminds me a lot of, after Scott D'Amore, it reminds me a lot of what St. Clair did with Ring of Honor. What St. Clair did, they got rid of a lot of good people that made Ring of Honor great during the pandemic era. They released a lot of people because of money and constraints. And what they did was they brought in wrestler after wrestler, but they did nothing with them. You know, they didn't keep people there. They let them walk off and do their own thing. And that's what I'm saying about TNA Wrestling. I'm not saying that it's going to die today, but it will die. I will see it die in the next 5 if they don't put stock into things. And Anthem and Sports Entertainment can turn around and say all they want. Oh, that's not the case, but look at their viewerships. Look at their numbers. If they're going to go live, they better be attracting an audience, and I think they need a bigger network to do it on. I've said that all along about TNA. That's not me being mean. That's me being honest. I want TNA to succeed, but they're going to probably die in the next 5 if they don't put it together. And if they're going live, as the rumors and speculations are, and the articles and the dirt sheets are saying, they better be puckering up, baby, and they better be putting shit together. I'm just saying. Anyway, my name is RevSauce9. Hope you enjoyed this wrestling review. This was a 7.75 show. TNA killing it, but really nobody watches it. But, you know, only like I think 200 or 300,000 people do. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.